It's Thursday night. All ye critters, come join us. It's time to continue our flight. There is magic and mystery from darkness. Our friendship will rise. But one thing's for sure, we never give up on the fight. Oh, get ready. It's Thursday night.
So, last we left off, Hell's Bells. Bells, Hells, I should say.
Yes, you should sell
The other way around.
The first was an exclamation, then you said their name.
Indeed. I was just excited and then presentary. Bells, Hells. After just barely escaping the chaos of the ball at the top of the core spire here in Drusar, returned to Estras's Manor, where you saw off your friend Dorian and his brother, who were currently figures of interest in the events of that night and nights before. The next morning, you went to seek out possible paths of escape from the city before discovering that you were being followed by the Greenseekers, a pair of very well-known investigators that were present at the events the night before. They took you off the side of the road and proceeded to interrogate you in a semi-public space, and you decided that maybe you could help each other. Following some leads and one individual with a past with Gus, one of the two Greenseekers, you traveled towards the bottom of the smolder spire, within the mines there at the very base. Asking around, discovered more connections to the Mahantreshi house, being involved in one of the subterranean mines, the Crown Set mines being closed for months, and some strange goings-on in that space. Convincing, magically, the one manager, the one foreman who was watching over the closed mines, to allow you down the extensive subterranean shaft elevator that led you to where the mines were abandoned. You made enough noise to draw the attention of numerous shade creepers, some even further changed from the ones you had previously encountered. In this battle, you managed to slay many of these strange monstrous beasts, suffering a bit of a rough and tumble first foray into these deep, deep mines below the city. Discovered what it seems to be is the partially healed, cocooned form of Lady Emoth Cab that you've been chasing. As she began to emerge from this cocoon, awoken by some of these shade creepers that had escaped from death after seeing you entering their home. And as you turned around the bend to the opening of another subterranean chamber, the rest of you managed to wipe out the majority of the creatures that remained, opening with a fireball from Gus and just tactically and quickly dispatching of the creatures there. You step into this large chamber here in the lightless depths of the mines. You see unfolding before you small table standing amongst scavenged equipment pieces, where two figures stand hunched over cobbled devices and chunks of faintly glowing stone. Their faces are vacuous and stretched like a long, hollowed swamp tree bowing under its own weight. A large, unfinished machine sits mostly between them, next to a pillar of broken rock. On the floor of the far wall, you see faint glitters in the very, very dull, barely there light, signs of coinage and gems, residual wealth, like a hoard partially spent. And within it, an odd device, about 2 feet tall, that resembles a twisted orrery, a dull, like purple stone embedded in its center. Above that, these rocky outcroppings and abandoned mining platforms that rise among the sharp stony walls. Dozens of rising tunnels twist upward from the rising spire and vanish into it. Openings, like a magnificent sponge of rock that just continues to spread out into the city above. You can see seemingly hundreds of shredded husks that dangle from the walls in places. Remnants of abandoned cocoons, their podlings long set free.
You just spit a little.
Along this jagged expanse, A sprawling, flat, slug-like mass stretches across the far wall.
Yeah.
You can just make out a few dozen opaque pods set beneath this slug mass. And there you see the spindly, monstrous, haunted tree-like body of the four-limbed creature. Her matted black mane tangled and tumbling from her bony horned skull, black eyes peering soulless and predatory. And there upon the rocky platform in the center, Lady Emoth stands, glancing up, arms open to this entity, calling to her mother, before mentioning that there seems to be company, and looking back over her shoulder towards the hallway where your friends currently wait. This mother that Lady Emoth referred to kind of begins to slither across the wall, and as it does, you watch as part of this slug mass pulls into this thicker, roughly 30-foot kind of bloated back half of her body as it kind of crawls down towards the base of its wall. You can see it kind of glancing around in the dark space, but it's not finding purchase on anything in particular. But a voice does creep into your mind. Where are you?
The urge to poop rises.
Prospective child. Oh no. Welcome. The mouth does not move. The eyes just glance about in the lightless space, but the voice still finds your mind.
That's fucking terrible. No, don't think anything. Think nothing. Balls. I'm going to not like what I see, and I'm just going to try and head back to the group and inform them as stealthily as I can. To try and retreat.
You step back and you watch as Lady Emoth, still atop, is kind of like glancing around. And where she was standing with her arms up looking over the shoulder, in a rapid movement, her body almost twists around, the head unshifting from where its position was. And she kind of skitters up to the edge of the central platform that's rising about 15, 20 feet from the center of this chamber. Kind of glancing around too, her eyes now full black, much like the mother entity, but still not finding where you are. Head kind of twitching to the sides. You watch as the mother creature slithers down and seems to like wrap around that purplish glow in the far back of the chamber, that strange crystal, almost like it's cradling it for a moment before it like begins to slither around the side of that central pillar in your direction, but still both kind of glancing about as the voice finds your mind again. Let me embrace you. You begin to back out of there, quiet as you have ever been in your life.
Yeah. Over here! Over here! It's real bad! Oh. It's real bad! Real bad!
What is it? What is it?
Big bear! Big bear chased me! In the other room, there are two individuals on either side of the room. They look like they're checked out, or like they have been checked out. Lady Emoth Cat is in there, and she's transformed. It's fucking terrible. And there's also a gigantic hell beast. I don't know what it is, but it's massive, and it detached from its ass. And there's horns. Fuck. And it got in my head. It asked me if I wanted to join. It called me one of its children.
But you said Lady Emoth's in there. That's the evidence that we need, right?
And we have to capture her, right?
We also have to live.
Yeah, that part. But I think if we leave, we might not get this opportunity again.
Grab Lady Emoth and run?
If we could separate Lady Emoth from hell thing.
Is there any light in there?
You do see that one central kind of purplish glow from across the chamber. That's a small device, about maybe like 2 feet off the ground, that was kind of sit to the side. It looked almost like a pillar orrery device, and that gave enough of a faint glow that with your dark vision, it kind of helped frame a lot of the chamber. It was like almost like a partially hollowed pillar of metal, that had numerous, almost metallic arms, almost like pincers at times that were all kind of grasping this gem in the center.
Meta.
You didn't get a metal. You didn't get quite a detailed look. You just saw kind of the general shape, and it was slightly tilted to one side, like it just kind of was placed and is resting.
And what are your all's plans of capturing Lady Emoth?
And reaches into the pocket and pulls out this small, almost like marbles. There's 3 you can see on his hand. These here generally are incarceration objects. They upon a quick striking of a particular target of interest, keep them encapsulated and easily movable, unharmed and unable to free themselves for the better part of about an hour.
We can roll her.
Yeah.
Not be afraid.
Oh no.
I hear something.
That makes sense. That we've been talking for quite a while. They would realize we were misdirection.
All right, so
maybe
you're
you know
gonna
what?
chill.
This will solve itself. Because I bet they're coming in here any second. Form of dread. All right.
Speak.
I'm gonna wait for.
Us learn. Let us join. You are in the embrace of the Shade Mother.
Shade mother. Oh, life. Mother.
Oh, I was just wondering if I could respond to her.
You're welcome to try.
What's your goal? What do you want?
I want to bring everything into our family. I want to share my love and epiphany, where all can be one mind and blood, to climb up and bring us all together.
Yeah, sounds great. Just send Lady Emoth out here, and she can guide us on in.
No response.
That was worth a shot.
Hell of a day to be a martial class.
Can I make my way over to where Olly is?
You did it
Yeah.
yourself.
Yeah, I know.
Ollie's over there, crossbow at
We
the
stick
side,
croquet
kind
to
of
get
holding
that
the
thing moving if we have to.
marbles in her hand.
It's me. It's Chetney. I'm
Right.
I'm going to try and stay out of sight for as long as possible. Would you want to give me one of those marvels and you could take the other 2?
She holds her hand out.
I'm already moving towards her. Keep her busy.
With the bead or without?
You don't know.
Oh, I have one beat.
Skulk up a bit, just so I can get eyes on the opposite side of the ship.
Ollie, Gus, turn to you. What the fuck? Yeah, I'm not going to ask.
Relax.
Sorry.
One of the dancing lights goes in.
Okay. First thing you notice, as you all begin to enter towards the front of it, you do not have sight on Lady Emoth.
Of course not.
What you do see is the 2 creatures, the 2 humanoid beings that are kind of hunched over the tables and the sides, kind of, their heads go straight and kind of look over towards the entrance as you approach. And where you see the rest of you who are now getting eyes for the first time on the Shade Mother and her bulbous form affixed to the lanky talon-like limbs to the front. In a partially clumsy hover, this massive creature is now just kind of drifting in the air. And you can see small, 5 little points of blue glowing light that are affixed to strange spider-like metallic devices that are embedded into parts of the body as she kind of begins to float in the air.
Children, come.
Between your light coming into there and the dull glow of the what you are now noticing to be broomstone affixed to the lower part of her body, you have some visibility within the area. You hear chittering.
Oh.
The tunnels above.
Well, maybe we just fight instead.
No.
Snatch, I think
We are not going to be
we
able
gotta get the fuck out of here.
We just gotta get her. We just gotta get her.
We don't know where she is.
Can I give a look and just try to see?
There's a handful of shade creepers that are starting to emerge from the upper openings within this chamber you're currently standing in. You do see up on kind of the far wall, which is a slight rocky incline towards the back, there is a shadowed shape that you see kind of disappear behind an upper part of rocky outcropping.
I think Lady Emoth is way back there. I think she's trying to hide. Back. Yeah. Behind her.
Gus is like, am I fireballing something? What am I exploding?
I feel like it's coming up real soon.
At this point, the Shade Mother is about 15 feet in front of you, about 10 feet off the ground, and the immensity and the smell of this room there is this odd kind of mildew curdled smell that arrives before she does, that just strikes your senses with an offensiveness you weren't prepared for. And with the blue glow kind of framing the space around you, you see at the end of this bulbous back half of the creature, something emerges as
Let's just light it up.
Stinger begins to protrude from the back.
Light it up. Light it up.
Light it up. And he goes ahead and throws that singular red bead. The arcs past, and you watch as she kind of looks over her shoulder down to where it's shooting, and you can watch this bead kind of glow up the sides of the rock as it passes over and hits the edge of where that large kind of cocoon-like portion of the body she left behind with the additional kind of pods beneath it were set. And some of the other shade creepers are like clambering down the wall there. The explosion hits, and you watch as close to a dozen or more shade creepers immediately burst into flames and fall from the ground, spattering across the far rock side. The Shade Mother turns.
Oh, he's going to get something.
Getting to the edge.
Ooh, look at this map.
Yeah.
Fuck life.
What is happening?
Oh, that's so cool.
There's individual rocks on there. You guys are spelling.
Alrighty, so Ashton, you're up first. Feeling the pulse of this explosion, the fiery flash of light in the room. You feel the pulse of combat come to you. What are you doing?
I'm gonna fucking rage.
Okay, go for it.
So we've got the temporal morass.
All right.
I'm going to run over to the table. I'm going to get right in this motherfucker's face.
As you rush up to it, you see it was looking over towards the edge. It turns around, its body kind of like snaps as it twists its torso towards you.
Gotta love
You can see the black eyes there. And the
What up,
rows of
mannequin?
teeth within the jaw.
Yeah.
Okay, Fern, you're up.
It's very dark in here and I can't see. So I am going to cast daylight on top of Mother.
Okay. So whereas the shadows have been consuming the majority of this chamber, those of you without dark vision have been kind of fumbling it through, just trying to focus where you can see the outer rim of soft glows making out the shapes around you. Suddenly, this bright, piercing light fills the entire chamber. As it does, you hear Mother reach back, clawing at her face.
Okay.
And all the shade creepers withdrawing from the bright light.
Here we go. Okay.
Really intentional.
Here we go.
Johnson, let's do it.
All right, and then, Mister, I am going to have him throw some flame seeds at Mama's belly.
Are you aiming for her or one of the stones?
Let's try the stones.
All right.
Ooh, you got your slug monster.
One of the ones right in kind of the front, there's two affixed to the front of its kind of slug body, and it hits one, you see its light kind of spark, and it looks heavily damaged. It's still holding top, but it is, the light is kind of sparking a little bit. Lady Emoth darts from the space behind, kind of scratching at her eyes, screeching as well. Darts out, clambers down the side, and rushes under here to try and get out from under the light. Is basically just like trying to get out from the sunlight. Gus, who's back there now and seeing this happen, is gonna go, mostly utility at this point, but I guess I'll try for another round. Can lob another flame seed up in her direction. Cool. Hits her on the side of the shoulder and detonates. 20-foot radius around here. She has to make a dexterity saving throw. Natural 1.
Yay!
She's gonna use legendary resistance to succeed.
That's right. Burn that shit.
Burn it through.
Get back there, meat shield.
Gus's go. Chetney, you're up with Orm on deck.
Okay. Shit. I saw her run into cover. With my 25 feet of movement, does it look like I could cover the ground and kind of hurdle up on top of this rock and get up on her rear to Lady Emoth's position?
Right over here?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can do that, buddy.
Okay. I'm going to take the little bead and say, tag, you're it! And hit her with it.
Get that bliss going. Get that bliss.
Natural 20.
Oh, yes, okay. So, you see her there behind, kind of like hit the side of the rock just as you dart around and visibly go rushing up and like leap in the air through this small section of rock where it opens up to where she's now kind of like rubbing her eyes and she spins just in time to hear the sound of you impact the stone as you land, not seeing where you are and looking above where your head is as you just punch the bead right into her gut.
Nice.
And then suddenly there's this weird sucking sound. And this sudden flash of energy, and you watch as this kind of amberish orb surrounds her like a bubble. And she's now
Nice.
scratching at it, making no sound and no impact on it. So where Lady Emoth was, there is now this amber orb.
Nice.
Cool.
And Chetney is now
Visible.
And you are now visible, yes.
I'm gonna look at. Can I see Olly and Gus?
No, you can't see anybody except for Ashton and Imogen over there.
Well, they'll figure it out soon enough. And I reach out and I dig my fingernails into my face and I split my face in half. And a snout comes shooting out.
That's some howling shit. We have Chetney Wolf on the battlefield.
Okay.
getting in position
of
for
my
something.
turn.
Okay.
Orm, you go.
I will add a long howl.
So she's.
Yes, you all heard the howl reverberate throughout the cavern walls.
Oh boy. She's right on top of me. Okay, so he just looks up at this giant carapace floating just above him. Hey, Mom, spaghetti! And I jump and slash through the abdomen. Mm-hmm. And then I'm just going to spin it around and keep running underneath her and slash again, same deal.
Slash and then slash underneath, carving out as you do. It is tough hide. It looks semi-translucent, like up close, especially well lit in this room. So it looks like it should be easy to pierce, but it is tougher than you expect. But you do carve through, and kind of a caramely colored kind of liquid kind of spills out from the wound. As you get a little bit of a cut, but rush through off the other side and shake it off your blade and spin around.
Fuck it, action surge. I'm now in a flanking position. Goading attack. 4 + 6 is 10.
Oh shit.
12 for that attack. Wisdom save.
It's a failure.
So any attack on anyone besides me is disadvantage, and last attack is a 21.
That hits.
Damn, dude.
So I've just eviscerated the bottom side.
At the end of your turn, just going to use
slashing damage.
Another legendary action to make a stinger strike on you.
Oh, the stinger!
Oh boy.
So is it even still like trying to scratch at the eyes? Spins around in the stinger.
No, it'd be disadvantage.
Whoosh! It pierces you kind of right underneath where the left pec is and gets about 2 inches in there as you grab it and hold it from going deeper. You feel it pulsing through your blood, and you can feel like the hot, burning sensation of the poison coursing deeper and kind of spreading throughout your body. You watch as, from where you carve past and the stinger withdraws, you see her like still eyes partially shut, glancing around the space around. These little folds around the larger kind of slug-like body begin to kind of pucker tightly and then release a caustic nimbus.
Oh!
She's farting up.
Everyone within 15 feet suddenly gets spattered with an acidic liquid that just...
She diarrhea'd us?
She sharted! Jolly rampage.
Well, there goes
Fresh cut grass. 5, you take 20 points of poison damage.
Hold
You
on.
are poisoned.
Can you be poisoned?
I cannot. I'm looking right now. I'm resistant to poison,
Great.
but I'm immune to disease. Okay, so I'm resistant to poison. So I
So you
take 10.
take 10 points of poison damage, but you are nevertheless still
Poisoned.
poisoned.
Matt, I'm going to hellish rebuke when you are done.
That is going to finish that certain attack. So you can Hellish Rebuke now. If you
Hellish rebuke. So I take the shit that is covered on me, and I just like scrape it down my arms, and it coats on my fingers. I'm gonna flick it back.
Hair.
you flick it, the strange kind of translucent caramel liquid turns to like a pitch black coloration before onto the front of the body and burns the black fire as it impacts.
Yeah.
You hear the voice in your head.
Stop! You'll feed my children.
Stop or we'll feed her children?
Yes, that is what she said.
Remember that. Open for. Just gonna go ahead and drift back up in the air.
She's so
High above me. She's so lovely.
Drifts up. A broomstone glowing brightly as it drags her large form higher into the chamber. That's going to go ahead and finish the Shade Mother's go. That brings us to fresh cut grass.
I'll keep moving towards that machine to see if I can sort of check it out or see anything more about it.
End of your turn. It's going to go ahead and use legendary action for Mother's Call.
Hate that.
Ugh, getting a call from Mom and
I know, it's rough.
Inopportune time.
You are poisoned, so I need you to go ahead. You feel that poison course through you, and suddenly it seems to move you outside of your own will. I need you to make an attack roll against Orem.
Oh, my servos start working in ways.
First time you've ever hit something.
Oh, I rolled real bad. 8 to hit.
What are you doing?
I don't know.
Get a hold of yourself.
All right, does it finish your turn?
Yeah.
Okay, Ashton, you're up.
I'm gonna punch the shade creature.
As you smash it against the stone, it burns up into a flash pyre.
I would like to leap up, and I'm going to stay there for now.
Okay. All right, finishing Ashton's go. Imogen, you're up.
Is he within 10 feet of me?
Who?
The husk?
The husk is within 10 feet of you, yes.
Okay, then I'm gonna look at both of them and I'm gonna put my hands together and then slam one of my hands down onto the ground and cast Shock Flare at 2nd level.
Alrighty.
Awesome.
Let's do it.
Come on.
All 6s.
Not bad. 15 points of lightning. Hell yes.
15 points of lightning damage. That one next to you
really good.
explodes into dust and then flames erupt from its detonation. Need to make a dexterity saving throw.
That is 17.
17, you take no fire damage. You dodge just out of the way.
For my bonus action, can I try to pull the orb away from that wall with my telekinetic shove? Just
towards you?
Pull it. Yeah, I'm going to try to pull it towards me.
Okay, so both Chetney and Ashton have to kind of like lean out of the way as suddenly, with immediate force, the sphere rolls past and crashes into that crate, kind of cracking it, and is now on the ground. And you can see Lady Emoth, jaws stretched, claws bared, just silently scratching and screaming from the inside of the orb. All right, Fern, you're up.
I am going to use my stonky ring. So I'm going to try to the globe over to me.
So you go ahead and like hold onto the ring, feel the extension of its power outward, and almost like invisible fingers wrapping around it, you go ahead and pull back. And as you do, the orb lurches forward, rolling, comes to rest right about there.
Mister's gonna shoot a flame seed again.
At the Shade Mother?
At the Shade Mother at one of the stones that was already starting to break.
All right, with that flame seed impacting, you watch as that one piece of broomstone and the device that has it affixed to the front of the Shade Mother breaks, and that blue light goes out, and you watch the body kind of adjust. Definitely one of them has been destroyed.
Yeah.
Alrighty,
Yeah.
that finishes your go, Fern. Bring it back around now to Chetney with Orm on deck.
Here.
I'm gonna hop down
Looks
behind the sphere, and I'm gonna try and shove it and push towards the cavern.
You give a mighty shove, and it rolls forward.
Hey,
Colliding
rolls
there.
go.
Hey.
Done.
Alrighty. Finishing that, now it is your turn.
Let me help you out. And the hilt of the blade hooks around his little robo neck and pulls him back as I move forward with my shield, pressing it into the figure's face. I'm going to use bait and switch.
You got it.
Just attack. on that thing.
As you kind of roll past, you slice once into the chest and then slash backward with the blade. As you do, the head just the body stands there for a second and takes one more step towards you before just collapsing onto the ground with a
Poor little husk.
But yeah, so anyway, finishing that go, it comes to FCG.
Oh, right, that part.
I'm gonna go over to the machine. What do I see?
You can see this large contraption that has like a looks to be like a strange wheel mechanism in the front and a large lever on it, and looks to be some sort of like an input funnel.
I'll reach to pull the lever, realize it's my saw blade hand, and go with the other one and yank it.
You hear the sound, and that little funnel device, suddenly this black smoke begins to emit from it, similar to the smoke you see at various exhaustion points across the smolder spire. As it does, you see it begin to shift to life. And what you didn't see on the other opposite side of this machine is part of it was embedded in this pillar, as a massive auger begins to spin, digging and drilling into the central pillar. As it does, the rock pillar in the center collapses
Oh my god.
and tumbles over this way.
Oh no!
As it tumbles over and the machine begins to just grind into it, it's just pushing into it, trying to drill forward. Chetney, you take 18 points of bludgeoning damage.
Oh no!
But you are currently restrained beneath a bunch of rock and stone. You hear the heavy grinding sound, the machine coming to life, and then the cracking and loud thunderous noise and boom as rocks begin to fall and tumble. This area is filled with dust around, and for a second it feels like the whole world ended as it settles for a moment, and you hear the machine kind of like grinding. It looks like it's getting stuck again. It's starting to wind down. That finishes your go, Fresh Cut Grass. Ashton, you're up.
I'm going to grab that fucking shade creature and toss them to my left.
Yeah, without issue. You push it back about 5 feet towards the wall.
I take a golf swing and I'm going to see how high I can hit it up. And I'm going to...
You move into that space where it moved and then splatters upward. The spray kind of comes across your face and immediately ignites.
Oh, no. Make it hurt. Make it hurt.
Make a dexterity saving throw for me, please.
That's a nat 20.
Yep, no damage. You're fine. Embrace the burns.
I turn back around and I'm like, we're getting the fuck out of here, right?
Maybe?
Bring us to... Imogen is up.
Yeah, can I try to get the crystal out of this thingy?
Oh.
Purple crystal?
Yeah, if you'd like to.
I want to try to physically rip it out, but also use my, telekinesis to try to pull at the same time to give myself, as much power as possible.
As you kind of, pull on it, it is wedged in there, and you focus, and you extend that part of your mind, that well of strength that you're still trying to understand, and it's almost like two mystical hands reach over yours, and with one giant shove, the metal wrenches free, and as you do, it almost pulls you off of your feet, the sheer momentum of it yanking out of the machine before you catch yourself and look in your hand and you see this purplish gem pulsing. It feels almost electric in your fingers, like your skin kind of has a weird tingle as you clutch it.
I'm gonna try to get out of here. My path is blocked. Can I climb up on top of the rubble?
You can. Go ahead and make an athletics check to go ahead and climb above it. What'd you roll?
1.
Oh, you leap onto the side and start climbing upward, and as you get towards the very top, you grab one piece of rock that comes free. You're like, shit, you reach back and grab something else, that comes free. And then you just tumble back.
I want to, as I'm falling.
Yes.
I'm going to Misty Step myself.
Yes.
As I'm falling.
Oh.
Yes.
Where are you Misty stepping?
I'm gonna bamf on the other side.
Yes.
Right as you climb to the front, you pull free the first rock that's loose, the second rock loose, you try falling back, and you appear right next to the
Fucking
Let's
That's
go.
Finishes your go, Imogen?
Mm-hmm.
That brings us to Fern, you're up.
I was just trying to see how long I could use the telekinesis.
The ring?
Yeah.
I'll say you can go ahead and attempt to move it if you like to.
12.
12. You tug with the ring, and it rolls.
Yeah.
And it rolls towards you, and it hits, climbs a bit, and gets wedged in the kind of the V formations of where the stone erosion of parts of the cave kind of gathers towards the base, and it's just and is now just kind of stuck right there. The ring doesn't try and pull, but there's just a lot of stone currently preventing it from moving forward. You can see parts of it kind of cracking and shifting where it stands, but it's not going any further at the moment. All right, it's Gus's go.
Yep.
He's gonna go ahead and rush over here.
Cool.
And is gonna now help to aid whoever wants to try and get you up under there. Didn't even see you get crushed. Didn't focus on the shade mother. Okay, finishing Gus's go. Chetney, you're up with Orm on deck. You are currently restrained.
Can I try to push myself out from under this giant rock thing, or am I just fucking stuck?
No, you can certainly try.
22?
22 is what you need to do. As you angrily gather your feral wolven strength, you feel the lycanthropic energy kind of in your body, the curse harnessed. Your muscles flex, you growl and you howl, and with this ear-piercing howl, you just pull yourself free from the heavy stone that's on your body. You kick your leg out, and then you're sore as a motherfucker, but you are free.
Just a little internal bleeding.
Nice.
Gus is like being, yeah.
Yeah, happy to help, buddy.
Didn't do anything.
By the way, what? We'll talk. all right, yeah, we'll definitely do that. Okay. Orm, you're up.
I pull a rope out and go, I just bought this, and then I'm gonna run. I'm gonna spring up on the rock and then spring up onto the drill and then leap 10 feet in the air to get by her stinger, tie her up. And I command the rope to tie her stinger.
So as you leap in the air, at the impact, you can see kind of her glance over her shoulder, and as you toss the rope up and it attempts to wrap around, the back of her tail begins to retract. You see the stinger trying to pull in, but the rope catches into its barbs and is affixed to it.
And I land down on the drill and go, so sad about this. And I drop the hand into the machinery.
Like a tie in a grind.
Suddenly, the rope begins to be pulled by the internal gears and mechanisms rapidly, and you watch as she, kind of not really noticing and caring, looks back towards the rest before, and you watch her being yanked back towards you.
Yeah.
You manage to dodge out of the way. You catch yourself. It hurts your sins a little bit, but you watch as the tail is now pulled into the machine, and she is currently like screeching. Between the combination of sunlight still blaring down upon her and the tail being pulled into the machinery.
Wow. That is so cool.
That is so cool.
It is her turn. So you watch as the long clawed rake-like fingers just go tearing towards you, and with every single slash, the machine tugs back. And she goes towards you to try and reach for you, and it pulls back.
Oh my god.
And you can see the smoke now emitting from it, and you can hear like the sound of gears on flesh. And she's like in pain but pushing through it, and with each attempt to strike towards you, the machine is just keeping her at bay. Nothing lands.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Olly is going to go ahead and move, kind of jumping over the edge here. All right, this is great, we gotta go.
GTFO.
All right, finishing Ollie's go. Laudna, you're up.
I'm going to look over the bowl to Ashton, and I'm gonna say, something cool.
Yeah.
And it comes
something cool.
Let's all
out
imagine
like,
it.
Make me look cool. And I once again take the caramel shit and black ooze, and I'm gonna flick it over the top, kind of it glides over the amber ball, and I'm gonna coat your glass hammer with chill touch. I'm gonna enhance him with chill touch.
All right, so that your hammer begins to frost over, and you see like elements of the warm moisture in the air that this chamber seems to hold begin to crystallize into like a dark ice. All right, Ashton.
So, if I took a run at that ball, and would I get a bonus if I hit it with my hammer as opposed to just like as running, like trying to sideswipe it? If I just try to like bat it down really fucking hard?
Narratively, sure.
Okay.
As you go rushing forward, you're like, whack, with a splash of shattering ice. You watch it dislodge and go rolling through. I need you to make a dexterity saving.
no.
Yeah, you do.
Okay, that's all right. Indiana Jones.
Natural 20.
Like leap in the air and kick off of it with your satyr hooves, and as it just rolls underneath.
Mountain goat.
just kind of like write it out.
Come on, guys! Let's go!
As you're just kind of, you're just kicking it along and actually maintaining the momentum. You actually got like a good rolling momentum to where you can keep it going with a natural 20. Fuck yeah, you can
I'm
do
gonna
that.
keep it going. I'm gonna keep it going. Come on, come on, come on.
Off to the side. Like Indiana Jones run away from it for a second before dodging off to the side. It rolls past with Fern on top. And you have to stay a little low from under it, but the rest of you watch as it is now dislodged and rushing off as many other shade creepers are starting to emerge from above and gather down the sides of the walls.
Oh god.
Cue.
All right. Finishing your action, Imogen, you're up.
Okay, I'm gonna step into the entrance of the tunnel and turn around before I leave. I'm gonna get in a good spot so that I can do this. Directly in front of her. And right before I turn and run, I'm gonna lift my hands up, focus all my energy, my hair flares up, my eyes flash white. I'm gonna shoot my hand out and cast Lightning Bolt directly up at her and hopefully at the thing at the wall behind her.
Great. So as the bolt, you release, you kind of pull your hands back as energy's released, and you can see the large kind of carved black mark you've left on the distant wall. The bright sunlight still kind of spinning in the chamber above from the orb that Fern had summoned. The creature, the Shade Mother, is still screeching and angrily trying to pull away from the machine and failing to do so. But who knows for how long till then.
Yep.
What do you want?
I'm gonna turn around. I'm gonna take off running down.
Okay, get about
Go.
there with the rest of that. 35, Gus is gonna
No
go
parting
and join
words?
The rest of you
Okay.
out of there. Gus is like, all right, we're moving.
I imagine Chetney like a
Alrighty.
Popeye werewolf, just like be.
Chetney, you're up.
Yeah, I'm just booking ass.
We may need a quick heal.
Booking that ass.
Yeah.
So you rush past.
And I'll I'll dash as well, so 50 total out.
She does get a reaction to strike you one more time as you rush out of her melee range. That's 4 points of slashing damage, reduced to 2. And 10 points of necrotic. Orem.
I see her go to town on Chetney and use that distraction. Before I go, I turn back and go, magic rope, so cool. And then I bolt. And after 10 or 15 feet of movement, I'll use movement and action to go. I will just start ricocheting off the walls as I jump over Ashton's head and just go bing, 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 out.
You are joining the rest of the troop down the hallway following the rolling ball. Finishing Orem's go. She's going to attempt to break free. And is trying to like pull free from this machine. Machine, you hear the grinding is like getting slower. It's like. All right, that brings us to FCG.
I'm gonna just wheel out of there as fast as I can.
Yeah, you are.
Roll out.
Anybody else? Ashton, same.
Yep, I'm just gonna peace out. Lick salt, fucker, and we're out. Full speed.
Charging full speed, head first into the darkness, back from whence they came. Bell's Hells flees their quarry in tow, guided by the ever-balancing feet of Fern towards where they came.
Oh boy, don't we have to get to an elevator, right?
We gotta book in that direction. Are there, are we being chased?
You hear growling sounds behind you and the furious screeches of the Shade Mother. You see movement at your periphery from all the nearby tunnels.
Oh god.
The Shade Creepers are beginning to swarm, called by the angry screeches of their mother. You do see the faint bit of kind of glowing red light that awaited you when you first arrived at that entry chamber. And pushing forward, following the sphere and kind of flanking it as you continue forward, you rush in through the tunnel, which is wide enough at this juncture to get the ball through, but you have to kind of arc around because that small little switchback tunnel that you fought in on the opposite side, it's a little bit too thin. So, Fern, you go ahead and start directing the ball. Easily enough, you go ahead and start shifting the momentum of it. It begins to curve and just manage to avoid crashing into a series of large, heavy rock pillars in the next room. Shifting around the side, there are 2 more Shade Creepers that you see crawling out of small little vents in the sides of the chamber.
I whack-a-mole whatever one's on the right. I'm gonna rage him.
Okay.
I'll Ray of Frost the one on the left.
It misses it, it lunges towards you and leaps in the air, raking down with you with claws.
I'm gonna shocking grasp it.
So 9 points strikes it. It's not enough to take it out. And
Can I try to roll over it with the ball?
All out.
Okay.
I need you to roll.
Very labyrinth.
roll one more acrobatics check as you're trying to now aim it, kind of arc it over towards it.
Net
Ladna?
20.
Whoa.
You roll over and crush it beneath the ball. It's kind of like starts getting up. It's severely hurt, but still standing. Its legs kind of like flattened a bit as it starts standing back up. But it's slowed down by the crushing and won't catch up to you anytime soon. Eventually, you arc around the corner, and you can see ahead of you the elevator cage itself there, like door open, the chain at the top. It looks wide enough to hold the sphere.
Everybody get in, and I'm gonna hold it with my ring.
The already severely hurt Shade Creeper and two more end up charging in. You can hear more noises coming from the back of the
Go. I throw a dagger at the limping Shade Creeper.
You throw the dagger and it falls back and then bursts into flames as two others like climb over it and clamber towards the cave.
Eldritch Blast them.
As you toss both Eldritch Blasts out, it hits one and its head just disintegrates on top of its shoulders as it tumbles to the ground and then bursts into flame, affecting nobody. The other one takes the hit, but it continues pushing through and rushes up right towards you to go ahead and strike at you.
No!
Natural 20.
Oh!
That's going to be...
To hit?
Yeah. It's going to be 9 points of piercing damage and 14 points of necrotic.
Strength of the Grave.
So it would be DC of 19. So go ahead and roll a Constitution saving throw.
You can do it. Constitution saving throw, you got this.
Rolling good all night.
I rolled a 19 total.
That is exactly what you needed.
Oh my god!
You're at 1 hit point.
Or you see like Ladna get a little woozy, but
Unfucked by Gil.
feels like a mortal wound, but somehow she just you see her head kind of turn around a little bit too far, and she just kind of cracks it back.
I'm trying to push the ball into the elevator.
Okay, you kick off of it and it rolls and it fills the majority of the cage. You could maybe fit crawling like 3 additional people. All right, so who?
Get in the cage.
All right.
So Ladna, you crawl into the cage alongside the sphere. Lady Emoth is just striking and yelling and trying to break across the inside of it.
I'm gonna drop my wolf form and I'm gonna try and climb up on top of the elevator through one of the little cracks.
Easy enough to do. So Ladna's on the inside.
Get in with Ladna.
Yeah, I'll try to fit in as well.
You go in, I'll go up top.
Okay.
Because I'm too big.
So the 3 of you in there, and the 4 of you and Gus and Olly all begin to clamber onto the top of it. It's going to be a challenge. There's enough room for 5 people comfortably on top. It'll be between the 4 of you and Gus and Olly. That's 6, which means there's going to be a couple of challenges if you manage to make your way up. You hear the sounds getting louder and louder of the numerous.
How do we go? How do we get the elevator to go up?
I'm gonna start banging on the chain.
Bang on the chain?
Yeah, so he can hear. Let us up!
It begins to pull up slowly, and as it does, you can feel it rocking a little bit as it begins to slowly approach the very choked entry point to this chasm. As you're kind of rocking a bit side to side, you can just hear Olly go, "This is a little uncomfortable." As the cage is pulling up, you look down before the visual of the cavern below vanishes. You see about 24 or so shade creepers rush up before you hear an odd screeching cry.
Not good.
And they all kind of stop and just slowly begin to retract. And return back into the caverns whence they came. At which point, you pull up into the shaft itself. With only a few inches of distance between, nothing can give chase, and the rest of you are having to carefully tighten in as the chain is pulling you up through this extremely narrow rock expanse. You watch as Ashton is trying to hold onto the chain, and something grabs the back of his pants and boot area, and he's about to be kind of like elevator smushed between the two.
Holy fuck.
Fern, you reach out and grab the edge of his wrist and pull him away from that, and you all kind of smush to the center to keep away from the grinding stone, and the cage itself is still swinging a little bit, and kind of like, and you see bits of where like flint-like stone and the metal cage itself begin to strike in that slight rocking before it adjusts itself, causing sparks and flashes in the darkened space between. And right now, there is no light here beyond the sparks. As you've left the glowing red of the chamber, it is now just a black closet space, occasionally marred by the flash of the sparks as it scrapes against the stone. You all kind of hold tight, and it begins to pull up, and you feel the shaft shift a bit, and it sparks and shifts again. And that quiet,
This is fine.
eventually the cage begins to rise up enough where the chain stops about 5 feet before the wench that curls it up and through the ceiling, and the rest of you who are on the top begin to crouch low and leap off at the right moment to scatter on the sides of it before it stops at its final destination. At which point, you can see the automaton kind of stop its position there and come to rest. The door is open, and you are free to exit the mines.
Get me out! Get me out!
You just see Lana go out of here.
Come on,
Help
get
carry
up.
Laudna out. Put
Yep.
your arm around me.
Thank you.
I got yeah, let's, come on.
I just look at Olly and Gus and go, do you fucking trust us now?
Olly kind of crosses her arms. Not gonna lie, kind of an impressive display of ingenuity back there, and I think we can have some conversations. Not bad. When you say so, Gus, and kind of elbows him in the side. Yeah. It's good to know we got some talented folks here with the right mind and some crazy ideas doing some good in these spaces.
What's the game plan with this? Dun, dun, dun.
Well, we'll go ahead and take this to our employer, and based on what we've seen, what we've discussed, use this to, one, prove that there are negative forces that have been using you and your presence as pawns for some of the recent events out there. Use it to get interested eyes and prying political figures from using you to obfuscate their involvement in some of these things. Again, kind of rolling it down the open, much more utilized, refined, and less cramped mine shafts that lead back out to the smolder spire.
Are you going to be able to get more help to take that thing out?
Oh, I can definitely request it. I think we can, well, it kind of points at the sphere. Based on this strange mutation, get enough of approval to send a number of wardens down there and get this all taken care of.
If I could make a small request, when you make a report, you can leave out the version where I turned all hairy and was like just vibrating sexual energy. You could just leave all of that out and just, maybe keep that between us as a token of our newfound trust.
Aren't you still a wolf?
No, I changed back. Thanks for paying attention.
Make a persuasion check.
God damn it. Natural 20!
As Gus is kind of pushing along the sphere, Olly kind of gives you a look, looks over at Gus, goes, I don't know what she's talking about. We didn't see anything.
Can I cast Detect Thoughts on Lady Emoth?
You can indeed. The initial wave of thoughts is... It's less language and more just impassioned, venomous, killing rage. You just feel this sense of... They will pay. They will be pieces. We will taste their flesh and they will die. They will be smeared. They will be ash.
Are you in there, Lady Emoth? And I'm going to dive deeper.
As you push through the rage and the bestial fury, you pick up subtler remnants of more human emotional thought. But they are themselves focused on Mother. She will be free. She will be out. The night will come, and all will join her, and we will stop them. They will pay, and then it cycles back into that same feral anger, that vengeful fury.
How long has she been down there?
She's still kind of like angrily slashing, and then all of a sudden just stops and goes "Phew," right to you within the sphere. Her eyes narrow, causing those large black feral beast-like spheres to become these square slits of darkness. She kind of stares at you, the head kind of turning slightly to the left. And in her mind, back to you, you hear, "She's been there for some time, but only recently has she evolved."
So you are aware. Are you all creature now?
I am what I was meant to be. You all absconded without accepting this opportunity, and in time you will be shown the folly of your choice.
In time, your mother will be crushed.
The feral anger and visceral physical lashing out, Lady Emoth stops. And she just sits, cross-legged in a way that is still unnatural, but her physicality reverts to a slightly more humanoid and familiar form. Almost echoes of how you encountered her at the party the night before. Still a little off, still a little strange.
Do you need help escorting this anywhere, or should we go our separate ways? Giant ball.
And we could take it from here. We still got another, at least 45 minutes or so before this vanishes, and by then we'll have the proper authorities ready to go ahead and receive our prisoner.
Well, let's just make our way up then.
I assume we'll be able to maybe find you again at Mr. Restorash's abode? It's the state, I assume? Yeah.
We'll be in and out of Esteras's, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Might take a little road trip.
Fair enough. We'll make sure the right individuals understand the contributions you've made to our investigation. So, that should help. And our employer will be quite pleased both with the outcome of this endeavor based on her alignment. Looks over at Olly, and Olly kind of gives a nod. And for your own edification, our employer is Mistress Sedri.
Mistress Sedri?
Sedri.
Sedri?
She has a particular, long-standing, how do I put it? Disapproval and a healthy disdain for Mr. Armand Trinci. And so, we've been in her employ for the better part of the past month. A few threads seem to be leading that direction, and I think some of our discussions, some of your encounters and happenings seem to help clarify a lot of those assumptions. So, thank you kindly. Push the sphere out into the afternoon light at the base of the smolder spire. Going past the various guards that await, kind of curious, but seeing the Greenseekers and knowing to give them a wide berth, they see the orb as it rotates out, carrying a, somewhat well-known noble of the Mahan houses here, and Drusar, which draws a lot of attention. And within the first 5 to 10 minutes of rolling her up the spiraling central street of the smolder spire, a crowd begins to gather. You hear whispers, concerned discussion, and gasps and rumors and all sorts of vibrant conversation and the general hubbub around this.
Gus, don't forget to go and see your ex. Just say hi to your ex now and then when you can.
I
I appreciate you working us through a small, tense encounter, and I have to say, for being a chatterbox of an automaton, you got some good insight there for the humanoid condition.
Well, I hope it works out.
Oh, we're not meant for each other.
No,
but I'm glad that we can move forward with a much healthier dynamic.
As friends.
As friends.
Have fun with your gumball. Yeah.
Look at me.
Go ahead and roll it up.
Are you all right?
I don't feel so good.
All right.
You know, you do a really good job of taking care of us. Thank you, but you can't care for others if you don't care for yourself.
Yeah.
You're right. Yeah. Let's go.
Rest.
Please. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Homer.
We're in the Smolder Spire. We could stop at the sit and spin. The sit and swill.
Oh, yeah,
Swill and sip.
Soot and swill. Leaking it.
A familiar trip back to the Soot and Swill Tavern. You are greeted by Prayo Madali. Kind of glance out the rest of your crew. Hey, oh wow, some familiar faces here. How y'all doing?
Good drinks.
Good day.
Drinks and food.
Drinks easy to do, food's great. We'll get you taken care of, no worries.
Scrap metal.
You all sit around, you get some drinks situated, and then about 20-minute wait later.
No, oh God.
This is awkward.
Oh.
Hello, pretty.
Hello, Lodna. Fern.
Hi, pretty.
It's very nice of you all to come back.
Of course. We wouldn't stop being your patrons just because you left us standing in the rain.
Plus, your food's really good.
Your food is very good.
I take pride in my work. I hope there's no hard feelings.
None at all, pretty. You're gonna do what you're gonna do, you know? Live your life.
Well,
Find your special someone.
Class act.
I appreciate you. Words of support. Well, I didn't know you were coming. And he picks up the 3 meals that he had prepared just for the 3 of you. The rest of you get the regular meal. I'll get something special. Leaves. Comes back a few minutes later and prepares meals. Look exactly the same. But he kind of sits there and waits.
What did you make today?
I was diving right in.
I added orange.
Thank you so much, pretty.
Anyway, I've got to get back to the kitchen. Lovely to see you all again.
So good to see you.
And he awkwardly turns around and returns to the kitchen.
Bless him.
Probably rest until the morning.
I think so. I'm a little worried about grass over here.
Yeah.
Head's just spinning around and around.
Well, as you finish your meals, sore,
Mode.
accomplished for the day's dangers and managing to build a little bit of a rapport beyond just your one noble patron within the city of Drusar. 2 of the finest investigators across this side of Marquet, and you can head back to your rooms and anything you wish to do.
Hey, Fern,
Yeah.
listen.
Oh, you wanted me to come to your room?
I'm just saying, I don't know how long we're going to act like this isn't going to happen. But if you feel the call of the wolf, baby, just give in.
All you need to do is howl at 3 a.m. and I'll be there.
3 a.m.
Yeah,
on the dot.
on the dot. Any earlier, any later, Fern is not coming to your room.
Anything else you wish to handle, discuss, look over?
Yeah, I'll go to their room.
before bed, and I'm gonna sit down right in front of you. Does he do this all the time? Does he
this
quietly
is really,
suffer?
This is weird.
Quietly suffer.
Nothing they do is quiet. Ever.
If it makes you feel any better, I'm not. So I don't feel pain or anything. I just can't. I'm not processing. I keep thinking about this. What is it called?
Starpoint
Conservatory. I keep thinking about that and how we should really go there.
We'll get there, but hello?
Are you guys doing stuff or can I come in?
Yes and yes.
Well, how hard are you?
Pretty hard, FCG. Am I interrupting? What are you guys talking about?
I hate you all.
This is important.
We're having just a little bit of an intervention here.
Intervention?
Just a little bit.
That's what this is?
Well, it feels a little bit like this is not a one-way street, okay? Your contributions are so appreciated, but I see you worrying about everybody else, and you're not the only caregiver in this group, and I want you to start caring about yourself a bit more. I was worried you weren't going to get out of there.
I appreciate that so much, Orm. That's so kind of you. But honestly, y'all have a lot of stuff to worry about, and we need to make sure that it gets taken care of.
There will always be stuff to worry about. It doesn't go away.
I mean, I spoke with Gus and his ex for just a few moments, and I feel like they made some progress in their relationship. And I feel like if I could speak with some of you that way, and really, dig in to your own issues, we might be able to do some similar progress.
Fresh cut grass. Two-way street.
Okay.
Don't push us out. All right?
All right. I won't. I don't know what I can. What do you want to know from me?
Hey, just shut down for a little while. Take some time. And remember that anything worth doing, anything really, really complicated, should not be done quickly. Step by step. Don't rush it.
I'm not even gonna bother about this.
What is it?
It was, don't worry about it.
They love other people's problems, please. It's great.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Well, it's just that I stole this.
Oh.
And I didn't know if it's
what
the
it is.
Stone that I got from the Shade Mother's lair.
You would like me to tell you what it is?
You said you could, but I don't want it.
Yeah, I'll take it and hold it, and I have a lens that pops down when I go to identify something, and it kind of gets stuck.
Oh no!
I'll give it a tap. No. This happens all the time. Tap.
And it goes back up.
Really?
I can't.
Yeah, don't worry.
Later.
You need to. Maybe we should take them to Milo before we leave town.
We could do that. Yeah, we'll hit up Milo. And hey, first intervention. I'm very proud of you. Isn't that exciting? I know you've always wanted one.
They're not wrong. I do enjoy a good intervention. Usually I'm on the giving end. Yeah.
You gotta see the whole thing though.
I think I'll just pull the stone out and take a look at it, see if I can just. I don't know. I guess I need to identify it.
So make an Arcana check if you'd like.
Oh yeah. Okay, I'll do that.
Big rolls.
Natural 20!
Oh!
Okay.
Natural 20.
That's my girl.
You take a moment and focus on it, and you concentrate. And in a way that sometimes you're scared to do, you let that wandering grasp of your mind begin to peer beyond that comfort zone a bit and kind of connect with whatever odd, arcane power seems to reside within the stone, the low, dull, kind of thrumming pulse of that purple light that is just faintly visible when you hold it in darkness and concentrate long enough. You feel your essence drawn into it slightly, and it's almost like a sour taste fills your mouth. There's something about it that seems to not want to let go. It's hard to describe. Something unnatural that wants to sit near you. It wants to take you and make you something better. And that's as best as you can make it. From this connection, something odd, something dark, something twisted.
Did you see anything?
Just some real weird feelings from it. I don't know, it was like felt like I was trying to give myself over to this thing. I don't know, I guess it is kind of strange that the Shade Mother was wrapped around it.
And Stone just kind of sits there, pulsing ever so faintly in the darkness. There is something oddly, I don't say familiar, but just kind of faintly alluring about kind of its weight.
I want to know what it is.
What does that mean? Like, to me too? You're saying
To
that
you,
to me?
yeah.
No, that's why I can't do it.
Cover her with a pillow.
I'm just gonna go into a corner and sit with the stone in front of me, and I'm just gonna just try to open up my mind to it.
Boy.
And take my mind shield down and like.
I don't want to have to kill you.
Okay. You close your eyes and just kind of let your consciousness expand a bit towards this strange stone. You feel yourself being drawn towards it. That odd familiarity begins to catch your mind a bit. You remember being the one that was the closest to where this was found. The device, the structure, the design of it. It was familiar. It felt like other contraptions you had encountered somewhat recently. Within a dark laboratory. You see flashes of those same long ears. Those dark, black-green eyes of the Nightmare King. You sense strange, twisting fey magic within this. Uncertain if it's ancient or fresh, constructed or recovered. But there's something about it that just takes and changes. Transmutive. Better, different. Alluring. Warm. Comforting. Welcoming. And slowly you drift into sleep, cradling it to you. Losing yourself to the warmth and the draw. And that's where we're going to go ahead and...
Oh no!
Just sleep.
Just till tomorrow morning, then I could have looked at it.
We're all gonna be fine now. Thank
We'll
you.
pick up from there and possibly 3 a.m. next time.
Oh!
Unless you want to pick that up, just a little epilogue here.
They need more time than an
Chetney
apple.
fucking slept through.
Yeah.
Dead ass, 400-year-old tired.
That's exactly what I was hoping for.
That's just
Right.